Imagine a garden that makes you sneeze, itch, and generally feel miserable. Not a pleasant picture, is it? Now picture this, a garden filled with pollen-heavy plants, trees shedding volumes of anemophilous pollen, or grasses with superfine allergenic particles. It's no wonder that stepping into such a garden can feel like walking into an allergy battlefield for many. This sneeze-inducing landscape might seem like a necessary evil for green thumbs with allergy woes. But what if we told you that you could transform this allergen nightmare into a low-allergy paradise? Yes, you heard it right. A garden that's not only beautiful but also kind to your allergies. Imagine a sanctuary where you can breathe freely without the worry of sneezes or itchy eyes. This transformation is all about selecting the right plants, arranging them smartly, and maintaining them properly. It's a journey from an allergy-inducing garden to a haven of health and tranquility. A garden that's not just a feast for the eyes, but also a breath of fresh air. Sounds too good to be true? Let us show you how. The first step in creating a low-allergy garden is to select the right plants. Embrace the power of plants that are low in pollen or produce pollen types less likely to trigger allergic reactions. While every plant produces pollen, the secret lies in the type of pollen and how it's distributed. Plants that are pollinated by insects such as bees usually have larger, stickier pollen that doesn't become airborne, reducing the risk of causing allergies. Consider flowers like the daisy-like aster, the vibrant begonia, or the ever-popular rose. These plants are not only beautiful additions to your garden but also boast low pollen counts. Other plants such as the hosta or the hydrangea have showy flowers and are insect-pollinated, making them excellent choices for a low-allergy garden. But let's not stop at flowers. Incorporating trees into your garden can add shade and diversity. When choosing trees, look for female varieties as they do not produce pollen. Examples include the red maple, the crabapple, or the poplar. These trees will provide lush greenery without the sneezes. Don't forget about the power of shrubs and grasses. They can add texture and create borders in your garden. Opt for shrubs like the boxwood or the yew, which have low levels of pollen. For grasses, select varieties that are native to your area as they are often less allergenic. When selecting plants, a good rule of thumb is to choose those with bright, showy flowers. These plants are often insect-pollinated and therefore less likely to cause allergies. Also, consider consulting with a local nursery or extension service to get advice tailored to your specific geographical area. Remember, everyone's allergies are different. What works for one person might not work for another. It's always a good idea to test your tolerance to a plant before adding it to your garden. With these plants, your garden will be a sight to behold, without the sneezing and itching. Now that you've selected your plants, it's time to arrange them in your garden. The arrangement plays a key role in minimizing pollen exposure and making your garden a low-allergy haven. First, consider the placement of high-pollen plants. While they can be a beautiful addition to your garden, they should be placed further away from seating areas to reduce pollen exposure. Consider the typical wind direction in your area. Positioning these plants downwind can help to keep the pollen from being blown into areas where you'll spend the most time. Next, think about creating barriers with low-allergy plants. These can act as natural filters, helping to trap pollen and prevent it from spreading across your garden. Tall, dense hedges or trees can serve as excellent barriers. Remember to choose species that are low in allergens themselves. You might also consider incorporating hardscape elements like walls, fences, or trellises into your garden design. These can block pollen and provide additional spaces to display your low-allergy plants. A well-placed pergola or gazebo can also offer a sheltered spot to enjoy your garden, safe from drifting pollen. Now let's talk about ground cover. Bare soil can release dust particles and other allergens into the air, so it's a good idea to cover it. Low-allergy ground cover plants can keep the soil in place and reduce the amount of dust in the air. Alternatively, you could use mulch or gravel to cover the soil. Lastly, don't forget about the importance of pathways. They not only add aesthetic appeal but also provide a safe route to navigate through your garden without getting too close to high-pollen plants. Opt for wide, clearly defined paths, and try to position them downwind of high-pollen plants whenever possible. With these tips in mind, arranging your garden becomes less of a chore and more of a creative, rewarding process. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate every single allergen but to create a balance that allows you to enjoy your garden without triggering your allergies. With a thoughtful arrangement, you can enjoy your garden without worrying about allergies. A low-allergy garden needs care, just like any other garden. It's not simply about planting the right flora, it's also about maintaining them in a way that minimizes the risk of allergies. Here are some tips to keep your garden looking lush and allergy-free. First, let's talk about watering. The best time to water your plants is early in the morning. This helps to minimize the amount of pollen that gets airborne during the day. Also, remember to water your plants at their base rather than from the top. This reduces the chances of pollen becoming airborne. Next, we have pruning. Pruning helps to control the growth of your plants, but it can also release pollen. To reduce your exposure, it's best to prune your plants on damp days when the pollen is less likely to become airborne. Consider wearing a mask and gloves while pruning, and always wash your hands and clothing afterwards. A healthy garden is a well-fed garden. When it comes to feeding your plants, opt for slow-release or controlled-release fertilizers. These types of fertilizers break down and release nutrients over a longer period, reducing the need for frequent application and thus, reducing your exposure to potential allergens. Pest control is also crucial in maintaining a low-allergy garden. Pests can stress plants, and stressed plants often produce more pollen. Use natural pest control methods like introducing beneficial insects or using plant-based insecticides to keep your garden healthy and low allergy. Regular cleaning is also a must. Clear fallen leaves and debris promptly as they can harbor mold and other allergens. Consider using a garden vacuum or blower to make the task easier and more efficient. Lastly, remember that timing is everything. Schedule your gardening tasks either early in the morning or late in the evening when pollen levels are typically lower, and don't forget to take breaks. Gardening should be enjoyable, not a chore. With regular care, your low-allergy garden will thrive, providing you with a beautiful and comfortable outdoor space. With the right plants, arrangement and care, you can enjoy your garden without the sneezing and itching. The joy of gardening shouldn't be marred by constant worry about allergies. By creating a low-allergy garden, you're not only enhancing your outdoor space but also creating a haven, a sanctuary where you can breathe freely and enjoy nature's bounty without fear. Imagine basking in the sun, surrounded by a beautiful array of vibrant, low-allergy plants. Picture yourself enjoying a book, or savoring a cup of coffee while the gentle rustling of leaves creates a soothing background melody. This is the magic of a low-allergy garden. It's about more than just reducing allergens, it's about enhancing your quality of life. Gardening is a journey, a labor of love that brings immeasurable joy and satisfaction. It's about connecting with nature, nurturing growth, and creating beauty. And when you cultivate a low-allergy garden, you're doing all of this while also taking care of your health and well-being. A low-allergy garden is a testament to your love for gardening and your commitment to creating a space that is both beautiful and comfortable for everyone. It's about creating an environment that nurtures not just plants, but people too. You've transformed your allergen nightmare into a low-allergy paradise. Now, all that's left is to sit back and enjoy. Creating a low-allergy garden may seem like a daunting task, but with the right approach, it's entirely achievable. Remember, the key lies in selecting the right low-allergy plants, arranging them properly, and caring for them in a way that minimizes pollen exposure. Throughout this journey, keep in mind the transformation we've discussed, from a bland, allergy-inducing space to a lush, low-allergy paradise. With a low-allergy garden, you can enjoy the outdoors without the sneezing and itching, so why wait? Start your transformation today.